My name is Tracy Kern, and I will be your navigator today as we venture down the rabbit hole of possibility with Susan Miner.
Yes.
Hi, Susan.
Hi.
Thank you for coming today.
My pleasure,
I appreciate
Tracy.
it.
All the time.
Some of you may remember we had a conversation with Susan earlier this month where we talked about her career in the beauty industry, the modeling industry is how you would say it. I'm going to read a little bit about her just to remind you. While still in high school, Susan became a fashion model, and over the course of her career, she was the most unforgettable face to grace the covers of fashion magazines like Vogue, Elle, and more. And today, she is the founder of a wonderful organization called Beauty from the Inside Out.
Yes.
And my first question, because you had the perfect life that everybody grows up dreaming about having, and you quit and became a counselor.
I did.
So, what made you do this?
Why would a supermodel
Yes,
become a counselor?
why would a supermodel become a counselor?
Yeah, it's a strange concept, right?
It is.
People look at me like I have two heads. They say, why would you have done that?
And I'm glad you said it that way, because it's...
Yeah.
Yes.
And actually, in your question is the answer. You said what every woman wants to do or what every girl wants to do. And I worked for big beauty companies. I worked for L'Oreal and Revlon, Maybelline, Clairol. And I was well respected as a model, and I got paid really well. And you would have thought I would have had really high self-esteem. You would have thought I was super, super, super happy. And yet, you know, here comes the story. I wasn't. And we can look a little deeper into that. And when we look at statistics of girls ages 13 to 18, the studies show that they want to be models and actresses. 32% want to be models, and like 29% want to be actresses. So it's roughly 61% of our teenage girls want to be models or actresses.
I never knew those numbers.
And we have to ask ourselves, why? Why? And if you ask, why do we want anything? We want anything because we think it's going to make us happier, right?
Yes.
Why do we want anything? Because we think once we have it or once we do it, we're going to be happier. And you know, that's the wake-up call. I was getting paid a lot for how I looked. I got all the accolades, and I got the accolades in the form of Vogue covers and beauty campaigns, things like that. And yet, my self-esteem was really low. I hated on my body. And
Say that again?
Hated on my body.
Hated on your body.
Hated on my body, like, ugh, I hate
No,
you.
I got
like
it.
that.
This is really important. I'm going to pause you
That's
right
okay.
here, because what you are saying right now is so important for everybody who's listening. And listen to what this woman has to say, because go back and watch the first interview. She's been there. You've been there. Mm-hmm. You know, and you weren't happy.
Right.
I mean, this.
So
I really wanted to point that out.
Yeah, so having the perfect career doesn't make you happy. Being a model doesn't make you happy. So like our young girls think that if they can be a model or an actress that they'll be happy and, like, dare I say, love themselves. And it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You know, I'm proof for that. So that's why I turned into a counselor. First, to help myself. You know,
We always have to do that. That's the hardest.
help myself.
Okay.
Yeah, help myself and then help other people,
Yeah.
because I just really realized that any sort of happiness is going to come from inside of me, and it's my inner peace. You know, a Vogue cover's not only going to make you happy for so long, or things like that. So really, everything I focus on now, all my counseling is about our inner peace. But there's good news. We can affect it.
Yeah.
With how we exercise, just like we get in physical shape. You know, you lift weights, one physical exercise at a time, you get in physical shape. It's the same with our inner peace. One beautiful energy exercise at a time, we get into spiritual and emotional peace. And we can affect ourselves in the only way that has lasting effects on our happiness, and that's our inner peace. It's the only way.
That's all there is.
Mm-hmm.
You pointed out some interesting things there. You were talking about how you weren't happy and how the job didn't do it. You have to go within. You have to find that happiness within. But the other thing that you just mentioned, that one little piece at a time. And we were just talking about this in an interview with another one of our conscious shifters about how we have, I call it sitcom mentality, that everything's going to be handled and fixed in 30 minutes.
Yeah, without the commercials.
And
That's
true.
I mean, so
That's
20
true.
minutes.
That's yeah.
Go,
So
yeah.
what you're saying is working with those pieces. I mean, that's a process.
It's a process.
And so when you're doing the counseling, you're also teaching the process and breaking down that mystery of, you see them on the model on the fashion cover, that's just instantaneous to you when you pick the magazine up. I mean, what a beautiful platform that you come from in teaching this.
Well, even the magazine isn't instantaneous. You know how much work goes into something like that? Oh. Well,
No,
first of all, the
no.
work for the models.
People don't know.
the
Enlighten us a
grooming
little bit.
and
I know it's off track,
yeah,
but
yeah.
enlighten us a little bit.
Well, no, so the model would groom herself, diet and exercise continually. You know, the shaving, the plucking, the waxing, the dyeing, the straightening. Good Lord, the facials, the exfoliation, all that stuff. And then you show up for that one day. And then there's a photographer's assistant, a stylist assistant, a makeup artist, a hairdresser, production assistants. I mean, that's only 7. That's on a small shoot.
And that's just the model. That's not the articles or the advertising or the rest of the magazine.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting is, as you're telling the story, how unreal that is in everyday life. But the magazine shows up as making you think that's real.
Right. And then, of course, there's Photoshop. I mean, I grew up in a time where it didn't have Photoshop, but now, you know, like... I just called an editor a couple weeks ago for a magazine, and I was like, could you know, fix me up a little? Like, it looks gorgeous, but I'd like a little more Photoshop. Like, I don't really notice that. Like, could you just...
I'm trying not to snort here because that is so funny.
It's true, though.
But it's real. It is. It is. It is. I love conversations with you. They're always so real. So anyways, okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to do some of the exercises. Do you have some more to say about Beauty from Within, though, first? I think that
Well, no, I think that's it. But we're going to show... I'm going to do some exercises with you.
Okay.
And we're going to show you... Please, like... do along with us, okay?
Yes.
Do them along. And these are exercises to build your inner peace.